What's good? What's good? What's good? Waiting for Chevin. Come on, Chevin. Oh man, I forgot T Plums, man. I forgot T Plums. What's going on, man? This is a Game Friday Game of Thrones talk, man. Getting ready for the season. This is not boxing. Just gonna chop it up with a couple cats. See if T Plums is gonna be. Oh, I don't know if I got T Plums. Oh, I don't have T Plums email, man. That sucks. All right, so if he comes, I'll send him an invite or whatever. And these other cats supposed to be on. What's good? What's going on, M. Reynolds? Mark Wonderlick, what's going on, man? Yes, sir, man. Let's get it. Yo, what's going T Plums, there you are. Hey, show me your email, T Plums. I'm supposed to have Chevin Body and L5 player joining the conversation, man. L5 player say that he's the man. He read the book 6 times. Hit me up, man. This is not, hey, dog, I like that, Hypey. Thank you, man. What's going on, CB Sports TV? Okay, there you go. T Plums. All right, cool. I got you, T Plums. Oh, you'll join some Game of Thrones. Do you read the books, man? You gotta, hey, come on, man. Hey, I'll let cats on. I got like 3. All right, I sent it to you. All right. Yeah, hey, Bert, if you read the books, Bert, said, oh, I'm here with that loud to smoke. Come on, I sent you a Chevin Body. I sent you the link. Check your Gmail, man. You supposed to get on. You ain't just you read the books. Oh yeah, send me the email. Send me the email. We can do it. The real pit bull in the building. What's good, man? Man, I'm loving them dog videos, man. Leon Robinson said, never read the books, but that show is off the meat rack. Yeah, shit's crazy as hell, man. Crazy. Hey, man. Hey, I want to get you on my Patreon, Real Pitbull. I want to do an interview about dogs, man. Talk to you about dogs and chop it up. That'd be a real special. Yeah, oh, it is, man. What's L5 player? I sent you the link. Where you at? Where everybody at? I got you, man. Special guests. Let's chop it up, man. And we'll start. And we're gonna start with a conversation about. Well, we'll just roll it as we go, man. But look, this is not a boxing. This is not. Did I put for non-boxing talk? Shit. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna edit it and put for Game of Thrones talk. This is Game of Thrones, man. Yes, Chef Boy ID next month. I am amped about that, dog. Amped. Hey, the books is crazy, man. You know what, man? There's so many books you can get it on Audible and listen to it. Chef Boy ID next month. Body about that, dog. Amped. Hey, the books is crazy, man. You know what, man? There's so many books you can get it on Audible. I'm gonna hit it here. Get my mute here. Chef Boy ID next month. Body about that, dog. Hey, it is 7? Crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
You know what, man? Oh, you gotta turn the volume on your computer down.
I just muted
it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we chopping it up. We got some real Game of Thrones fans here. Cats read the book, been watching. What's going on, L5 player?
Chilling, Lord Fannon. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. Damn, what's up? I forgot. Yeah, I saw your video. You're a DJ, huh? In New York?
Yeah, I just set up this because me and you are both newly moved, but I'm setting up this room now. But I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, that's just sweet, man.
My little limited record collection.
Limited, yeah. You got the crates. All right, so look, man. Let's start with Chevin, man. So Chevin, man, so what do you guys want to talk about, man? Oh, T Plum said I got your link. I'll join once I get off the highway. That's what's up. All right, man. So let's have a conversation. Damn, I should have organized my shit a little better, man. But all right, man. Are y'all familiar? Hey, what do you think the end game is? I'm gonna give you that, man. Let's talk TV show because most people are gonna watch this are gonna be a TV show. Chevin, what you expect to happen in season 8, the last season of the show coming up in April?
Now you mean just the end game, right?
Yeah, the end game. What do you think the end game is gonna be? Damn, you sharpen up swords in this thing?
I'm sharpening up with my whetstone.
Yeah.
Okay,
ahead,
so
man. What you think, man?
Just the end game, man. I really think the end game has to be around the Night King. And I say that around the Night King just because the Night King obviously is a major character in the series, at least the television series as well, I know as much as the books. But it's the only main character that we know the least about. And because it's a main character that we know the least about, I feel like the last season has to be summoned, or has to come to a summary with information on the Night King and his role. So I think the end game has to be the Night King, his backstory, as well as I think the Night King's going to end up ruling things.
Keep going, man.
No, my other thing is, and I think you addressed this in a video several months ago, Fannon, and you were one of the first people that kind of brought this to my attention, that we don't know, at least us television watchers, who I have just started the books, we don't know if the Night King is really evil. And I've seen tons of videos on this from Talking Thrones and other streams as well, and they highlight those situations where the Night King spared people's lives. The Night King had an opportunity to kill people, and he didn't. People who are not necessarily significant to what he's trying to do in terms of take over the kingdoms. He walked past tons of people and did not kill them, which tells me he has a motive, which may not be as malicious as everyone on the television show makes it out to be. And we don't know, and the other backstory is, we don't know his perspective of what happened between him and the children of the forest. We on the TV show, we get it from the children, but we don't get it from his side in terms of what they did to him to prompt him to be in the position that he's currently in.
Okay, what's your take on that L5 player as a book reader?
Well, thanks for letting me on too, man. Peace to Chevin. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name too, but
no, you are saying it right.
All right, man. Yeah. Well, two things. As far as the well, I'll get to the end game point later, but I think that with as far as the Night King sparing people's lives, like throughout the more so the show than in the book, but I think he does that because him and, like, I think to the White Walkers to a degree too have the ability of seeing into the future, just like Bran's ability. I think they have like something that Fannon says, like, or like kind of subscribes to the notion that this story has like that duality of like that yin and yang, black and white, ice fire. It had you could see that throughout the books and in the TV show as well. But I think that a lot of the times that he's spared people, or that the White Walkers have spared people, it's because they know that they'll be sometimes like in the case of Samuel, when he spared him, they knew that Samuel eventually would lead them to that to the wildlings baby,
right?
And you know what I'm saying, like, and you know how they needed the babies to make other White Walkers. But I think a lot of it may, like, as far as the end game goes, I think a lot of it may not center around the Night King so much, in the sense that his role has been limited, and like they've given explanations of him in the books, like very sparingly, if not at all. It's like more like hearsay. Like some people say that he's a Greyjoy, some people say that he's a Stark. And it's all like hearsay and rumor, because it happened, like his first appearance happened thousands of years ago. But I think the end game, I don't want to blow up too many spots though, because I have a good idea as to how I think it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that one of the central characters is going to die. And I mean, at this point, there's only two central characters, because I don't want to give up too much. But I think one of them may go. I think the end game, I don't know. Like, I mean, because the thing is too, like, you have a set way as to how you think the show is gonna go, and the author has the dope way of like kind of like smacking you back into reality. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like George R. Martin's been very diligent, and he's been very conscious and aware of the rumors and the theories about his next move in relation to the way he's always written his previous novels before. And every time information comes out about the angle that they think the press and the media thinks he's going to go, he always deviates from that. He deviates from that every single time. I mean, according to tons and tons of theories that were derived from his writing style and some of the early books I've been reading about, is that Arya should have been the whole Arya love story between herself and her brother was an angle that everyone thought would take place, and he went opposite left of that once they got out to the media that was going to happen. And he totally changed Arya's her love arc to someone else. It wasn't between her and Jon, not in a romantic, incestual way. And everyone thought that was going to happen by the time we got to the third season or the second book, but he didn't do that.
As you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if George R. R. Martin knows what the end game of his books are going to be.
No,
because he keeps. Yeah, because like he's got the Winds of Winter coming out. Mm-hmm. But as far as the show goes, yeah, I don't think that the Night King. I don't think the Night King is going to make it. Is going to make it all the way through, man. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be gone pretty. Relatively soon in the second season. And it's going to still wind up being like about closing the issues that take, with the characters that have been interacting with one another. That's the thing that kind of gets me. But Shevin, I do believe that, like you said, that there's going to be a real interesting backstory to the Night King. As far as like with the end game, what I think the end game is for me is I think it's going to be, I wind up watching that first scene. Or that first season, the first episode, right? That's the one that I just keep watching it and watching it. Like I know it's gonna come. I know it's gonna come back around to some shit that's in that episode. You know what I mean? Like even if you notice how like in the first episode they have Jon Snow, they hid Jon Snow in the back, right? And he wound up being one of the most important of pretty much everybody there, but he was hidden in the back. It's like something is gonna go on with something that's just where you really don't expect it. Like it's just so hard. I'm thinking about it, and I just keep going over the fact that Jon Snow he's either gonna either him or Bran are gonna wind up being the Night King. But this is something that I find real interesting. Do you know how the Ironborn have that saying? What is dead, huh?
What is dead may never die.
Yeah, what is dead may never die. Look at how many people have died. Right? You have Jon Snow died, so he can't die. Right? He's dead, so he can never die. The dragons were dead because they were already turned to stone. Right? Yeah. But so they can never die. And if you're familiar with the Gray Areas website, her shit is really excellent.
I watch all her stuff.
What do you say?
I watch all of her stuff.
Oh man, you remember she did this video that's like a dragon is not a slave?
Yep.
Right? Where that's like when they were in that scene with the God, what is the guy? The guy that sold him the Unsullies. Yeah. What do you say?
She was an Astapar, and the first time the guy she tricked him into selling her dragon, and the dragon wouldn't follow commands.
Right. She said,
"Yeah." In the book, we see that in the television
in the show that a dragon is not a slave. So the dragon came from stone, and it was through blood magic that they were born. Right? Because you remember that whole the death will pay for life.
Yep.
It was Drogo, the horse, Mary Mazdur. And that gave rebirth to dragons, which were stone. And so then you have Jon that died. You have Jon that died. You have the dragons that have already died. You have, of course, what's his name? Thorin, not Thorin, the guy that Thorin saved. What is his name? The cat with the burning.
His name is Dondarrion.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah,
Derek Dondarrion.
And Arya.
Yep.
Arya's died because remember she became no one when she drank that.
Yep.
In the House of the Undying, she's like, if you're dead, if you drank that, if you're no one, then it'll be okay if you're not knowing. So she became knowing, but then she became Arya Stark out of knowing again. So I think something's going to happen with that dragon, the dead dragon, Jon, and Arya. But I can't figure the shit out for nothing.
Now, I saw some people a while back on Twitter. I think this theory has been debunked. Back to Arya, who's my favorite character right now. About whether or not Arya is really Arya, whether or not it was my man from the many-faced god, or the woman or the Arya may have actually lost that battle in her cave. I know that theory is not true, just from seeing the personal conversation she's had with people once she went back. That wouldn't make sense to me. So that's a theory I never bought.
Say that again.
Remember when Arya had the battle with she was being trained in many-faced god at the House of Black and White on the show,
right?
And on the television show, she had that final battle with I forgot her name, the woman that was training her, girl that was training her.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. Yeah,
but her. And they said, there was a theory out for a while that that light went out and Arya might have lost that fight, and that the girl was wearing Arya's face when she went back. And the only thing that ever gave it credence to me is when the person that posted the video said that, well, go back. I went back and watched the scene where Arya goes back and puts the face in the wall, and he says to her, now you're no one. And the person making the video, they said, well, you remember the level that girl was on? She was sort of in training as well, but way advanced than Arya. And his theory was that he could have been saying that to the other girl, not Arya, because why would he say that to Arya when she only been there for such a short period of time?
Yeah, there was something I heard about her. She was kind of tricking, because she talked about not having a desire, but she was really pretty desperate to kill Arya. I'm trying to remember what her.
Yeah, and I think in the books they list her as an acolyte. So I mean, I think she had a little bit more of she was a little bit more advanced than what Arya was. But who knows? Because I mean, a lot of they were playing tricks, the whole getting to be a faceless man.
Right.
There's a lot of trickery involved with it. So I mean, I still don't know their true intention, because it's already the show's surpassed the book. Maybe if
I think it ended at his death, right?
Yeah, it did. Well, it ended right at the battle. The battle of when Jon went to that big battle that Jon had with the Night King.
Right. In the books or the show?
No, it's on the books. When the last book.
The book should have ended right around the time Jon died with the night with the
right.
When Jon dies at the wall is right where the books end.
And her name is the Waif. She's the Waif.
Yeah, the Waif.
The Waif. Yeah.
Quick question for you guys. Now, since we're talking about Arya, I got two characters I really want to talk about tonight. Where do you guys stand as it stands right now on the show with Sansa, in terms of is Sansa someone you like and trust, and why?
You can go L5 player.
I kind of do, because at this point she's the one Stark that actually wants to still ride for Stark causes, right. Straight up Stark causes. Mm-hmm. She's been tempered as far as her experiences with Ramsay Bolton, mm-hmm. with the Lannisters, where she's not gonna fall for that as easy. The one chance to her falling for the Okie Doke came with Littlefinger, and as per the show, she was instrumental in Littlefinger's eventual demise. So now, I think she's good money as far as for leading Stark causes and the North's causes forward.
See, because I've always despised her, and just going back on things from the show, I'm just going to go over a few actions of hers, right? Okay, so I'm going from the very beginning, real quickly. Now, as a child, I remember she had gotten Arya's friend killed for lying, because obviously she was really into this idea of being a princess and marrying Joffrey before she knew who he was. But a part of her lying about what happened in that little fight that Joffrey had with Arya's friend, got Arya's friend killed. She got the direwolf killed by lying. Okay. Now she also lied to I forgot the people of the Vale to protect Littlefinger after Littlefinger murdered her aunt Liza. Okay.
Yeah.
She told. And a lot of people really came for her and just injected all this empathy with the things that happened between her and Ramsay. Okay. Two things about that. One, I always remember when Littlefinger said to her, "No, we do not have to do this. Now you'll be on the run. I can hide you. I can take you away. You do not have to marry this guy who we don't know. Or you can marry this guy, and this is the only way you can probably get revenge because he has a powerful army. He has control of your homeland." And she went with the to go ahead and marry this guy she didn't know, with full intention of backstabbing and murdering him to take over her father, to take over Winterfell, which was rightfully hers and her family's. When she married Ramsay, she had no intention of being Ramsay's wife, or she had full intention of taking back what she felt his family took from him. So her intention was to murder him or be a part of murdering him. I got three more things that really got me when she lied to Jon. Now, given that was a lie to Jon that I guess was understandable, whether the ends justified the means to most people, because that lie when she didn't tell Jon about the Vale army coming to help out, or else he would have lost the Battle of the Bastards. But still, it just showed a level of distrust to me from the only person in the world that she could trust in terms of Jon and Arya. And she still didn't trust her own brother over this guy Littlefinger that she had seen do all this stuff, okay? And lastly, two other things. Remember when Arya brought to light about how she wrote that letter when she was a child back to Winterfell about her brother, and how Arya was saying, that I would have died before I wrote that letter. And so, so the other girl of that house, I forgot which house it was, the girl that got that great speech, the little girl.
The Reeds?
What was her name? Not
the Reeds, right?
I think it might have been whichever one. The little girl they had a great speech about. They came to her.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Mormon girl.
Yeah, yes, Mormon. Yeah, Mormon. And Arya brought up how she was the same age as you were when you wrote that letter that Cersei told you to write. And Sansa's like, well, they would have killed me. And Arya's like, yeah, and she would have died, and so would have I before I wrote that letter about my family. But okay, give her that. And lastly,
what do you? Oh no, my bad.
Yeah, listen, you're fine. Lastly, everyone gives her credit for making that decision to take out Littlefinger if he's dead. That's the later topic. To take out Littlefinger, and to me, if Bran wasn't there to let her know that Littlefinger was a backstabber, I don't know if she would not let Littlefinger manipulate and convince her to kill Arya, because she was fearful that Arya blamed her for a lot of stuff that had happened. And she's just been a scumbag to me. I've never liked her. I've never trusted her. And I really can't wait for her demise.
What do you think, Fannon?
No, we can't. I can't hear you.
Okay, Aegon the Conqueror, right? You reading Fire and Blood?
Yes.
I'm to the chapter right when the Greens start fighting the Blacks.
Yeah. So you're up. What is that? Is that after Jaehaerys? That's
right. Yeah, after Jaehaerys.
After Jaehaerys. So but you're past the part where you got Aegon and Aegon's sisters, right? You have Aegon and whatever the name of the sisters are. I think that Jon Stark, that Jon is essentially Aegon the Conqueror, right? Because he's Aegon Targaryen. That's what his name is.
Right. Yeah.
He's literally named after Aegon the Conqueror. So Aegon Targaryen was the original conqueror who had 2 sisters and 3 dragons, and he's Aegon Targaryen, who now has 2 sisters and a soon-to-be wife sister with a dragon. So I think it's repeating itself. But the thing that gets me specifically about Sansa is like the way that I watched that particular episode or the episodes before the lead in to the death of Littlefinger, I think they set his ass up all the way from all the way like the way that Littlefinger was following her. Right, this is the same girl who could, because you remember she's a warg.
Yeah,
that's
she's
one
a
thing.
warg. Yeah, the
she's
TV
a warg in the book
to show that her warging into her wolves.
Yeah, but in the show they don't show that she's a warg.
Right.
They don't let you know that she can see through cats, she can see through animals, right? But it's hidden there. Her being all fumbly and following him all corny, right? If she really wanted to follow him, she could have put a face on. She could have followed him in any type of face or any type of way that she wanted to follow him.
Yeah, she would never
follow him with her.
She would have been seen.
What do you say?
She would have never followed him in a way that she would have been seen.
Yeah, she would have never followed him like that. She's a faceless man. She's not stupid, and she can fight in the dark because she spent all that time being blind. Yep. So she can see and know everything that's going on. She felt him behind her, right? Even that conversation that they had. When was it that Bran let them know everything that was going on? It might have been underneath that weirwood tree after that after when they sat there. Like, when she gave him the knife. Right. They don't let us see all the conversations. So I think that they clearly set up Littlefinger, at least in my opinion. But the thing about Jon is if Sansa's going to die, it's because she's going to try to get slick with Jon. Because he doesn't fall for any of that shit. If you look at Jon Snow I'm talking about in the show, he doesn't fall for anything, dude. Anything. When she was trying to sweet talk him, he was like, but what do you mean? But anything that comes after the word but is bullshit.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, he doesn't fall for sweets. He doesn't fall for shit that anybody tries to pull on him. Really, he sees that shit coming. He's very smart and he's very perceptive in that way. So I think that if she does try to pull something on Jon, that shit's going to wind up because he's not a liar, right? But he can spot a lie real well.
I don't feel like, and I think Jon checked her, or maybe she'll change this season. I don't think that she's aware how smart Jon is.
Yeah, if she doesn't, she'll get caught.
Yeah. Yeah, especially I remember when because Jon was always kind of timid and not very assertive verbally around her when she was around him. And I never forget, I was so glad he did this too for his character arc as well. When he was giving his speech about, I'm going to go meet Daenerys. I need to meet her. I got this letter from Tyrion. I trust Tyrion. I got to see what's going on because obviously we need more men. And she challenged him in front of his new men, which I thought was insane. Sister or not, you don't do that. And she's been around royalty long enough to know you don't do that. But he checked her immediately. But Kevin, she's surrounded. I mean, there's literally nothing she can do because if it's not, first of all, Arya don't trust her. Arya can walk around in any face she picks up and know what she's up to. Then Bran, provided Bran ain't the Night King and on some real dumb shit, Bran can just, all right, I'll go find out what you did last night. And Jon isn't necessarily somebody that is going to believe bullshit to begin with. And she just so obviously, that's the other guy that died. I forgot the other guy that died. It's Theon. Theon died because Theon lost his personality and became Reek.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Is no Reek. Just Theon. And then eventually he was reborn as Theon. But that's not something that Sansa's going through. So I think Sansa might actually, wind up biting a bullet. There's a question from the comment section though, and I'm gonna send this to L-File player first. What death shocked you the most? Even in the books, because I don't know what order you read, but what was the death that shocked you the most?
I mean, I gotta go with the obvious choice and saying Ned Stark, because at that point, a lot of the way the book flowed and how George R. Martin writes and whatnot, it wasn't settled in yet. And Ned Stark was a pretty prominent character in the show and the books in season 1 and in the first book, Game of Thrones. So I think Ned Stark's been the one that shocked me the most. But another one that honorable mention, I would have to say, what's his face from Dorne? The guy, the
Yeah.
ACDC guy. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about
Prince Oberyn.
Yeah, Oberyn Martell. Yeah, Oberyn Martell, because you always hear of Dorne, and Dorne's like it's a big like a country and a big land in its own, and you're expecting their participation because like how they get down in Dorne, and when uh when you expect Dorne to come in, you expect him to be at the forefront of that entry. Dorne's entry is probably going to be like in large part led by Oberyn Martell, and then for him to get killed by the Mountain, and in such a way too that was like one of the most like brutal deaths in the show, at least. It was the illest for me.
He was developing as one of my favorite characters too. That scene he had, because at the time I was really digging Tyrion, man. That was before I met Fannon on here. Fannon destroyed my image of Tyrion. I was really digging Tyrion, man, and when he gave that speech to Tyrion about I'll be your champion, I was really digging that cat, man. As far as the death that surprised me the most, that's easy, man. Jon. Jon easy, and because that's what I think for me, Game of Thrones separate themselves from almost any other television program, because we only see 1 or 2 TV shows in the history on television that was not afraid to kill off stars. In the past 10 years, we've only seen a few shows that were willing to do that. However, even those shows have blocked off a few people. Like, okay, we know that 1 or 2 or 3 people, those people won't die. And at the time Jon was killed, he had become one of the peak characters of the show. And just seeing the battle he just had, the position he rose into, what happened to his father, his brother was dead. I just didn't see that coming from a mile away. That Jon murder, that got me. I mean, I sat there in front of my TV for a good 10 minutes, just with my hands on my head. By far, that's the most shocking one.
Oh man, for me, it's a tie, man. It's between Ned Stark, because I was like, what the hell? I was like, right when they set him up there, I was like, because that's before I read the book, right? I was like, what the hell? How are they going to get him out of this shit? I was like, oh no, how did that go? And then the second one was Rob. The second one was the Red Wedding.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All them cats in the Red Wedding. I was like, God, dog, they gonna kill everybody like that. I started getting pissed off at the Red Wedding. I was like, damn, they just gonna keep killing everybody. All right, you come on now. I can't trust nobody. Hey, the next question. Next question is, who do you think will die this season?
This season. This season, I do believe we're going to see Jaime. And the reason I say Jaime, just going back to that scene that he had when he was in the room with Joffrey, and more than anyone on the show, we've all seen this. Jaime really cares about what people think about him. And when Joffrey was making fun of him about, Sir Jaime Lannister, there's no deeds in that book of deeds about any deeds you ever done. And when Joffrey walked out the room, he walked to the book and he looked at it. And after what he did in killing the Mad King, he felt he saved thousands and thousands of people, but because it was a king, he didn't get credit for that. And that really bothers Jaime. And I think Jaime, as we saw him attack Khaleesi, the drag with the spear in his hand, he's easily willing to give his life to die a noble death and get something in that book.
As far as my choice of who's gonna die, I think this season, and the last book when they eventually get to it, it's gonna be the one with like the least crazy twists and turns. And I think a lot of that is gonna be what the only twists and turns that we will get are gonna be like deaths, or we may get it won't be like in seasons past or in like the books in the past where like you were thrown off kilter, like with these big sweeping like crazy twists. Like having said that though, the deaths that I think are gonna go down, the big one that I think is gonna go down, where I said one of the main characters is gonna die, is gonna be Daenerys, either Daenerys or Jon, but I think it's gonna be Daenerys. I think I also think Jaime's gonna die. I think Cersei's gonna die. I think mad people are gonna die. I mean, like this is like where it's actually going down, like with the big like the war. This is the real war, like that's happening in this season. So a lot of these like main characters and even the semi important characters, a lot of them you're gonna see perish, unfortunately. Come season whatever season we're on, 8.
All right. I got a list of these. All right, so I think Jaime's gonna bite it.
Yeah.
I think Cersei's gonna bite it.
Yeah.
I think Melisandre's gonna bite it.
Oh, definitely.
Tyrion's gonna bite it.
No.
Ooh.
Tyrion dead in the motherfucker, dog.
Man.
He's been a double fucking agent that whole last season.
Ah.
That bastard been a double agent that whole last season. He ain't that stupid.
Yeah,
Go back and listen. Go back
right.
and watch that setup, how he set Daenerys' ass up. Go back and watch that shit. How when he first got to Dragonstone, right? He first gets to Dragonstone. The first thing he does is tell her, do not go for the capital. Don't go for the capital. Go for Castle Rock. Everything this dude has done since he hit fucking Westeros has fucked her up. He ain't made a good decision since he fucking got to Westeros. And then to fucking boot, he always sides with Lannisters. He said, you think you underestimate how much I love my family? That dude is a bitch. Totally through and through, in my opinion. That little motherfucker is the worst cat in the entire fucking show from the beginning. But y'all can argue about Tyrion in a second. Varys is going to bite it.
Okay.
Either Sansa or Daenerys. One or the other, but not. I think one or the other, not both. Because I can't figure out who the other wife of I can't figure out who the other, what do you call it, queen of Aegon would be. Because I know one for sure is going to be Arya. I think it's probably Sansa because Sansa's a snitch, dude.
Yeah, she is.
She is a snitch. She is a snitch.
What do you mean? As far as Jon having like 2 wives, like moving forward?
Yeah. If they're not actually sleeping with them wives, there's going to be it's Aegon because all this shit is repeating itself. It's a loop. It's repeating each other. If you remember in the book where there was the dream that Bran had, because Bran is really interesting. Bran's already dead, right? Bran died in that cave. Right now, he's the 3-eyed raven. He's saying, "I'm no longer Bran. I'm the 3-eyed raven." He's telling you that he's dead. But in a dream that he had in one of the books, he was like flying as a raven, looking down on all these ice. I think it was like people impaled on spikes of ice, right? And it was a bunch of different brands, right? A bunch of different people, and who didn't fly, they died. It's fly or die. You remember that? In the book, that whole vision, like going to the book, reading the visions in the book are some wild shit. But I think that Bran is going to make, because Bran's already dead, he'll be the 3-eyed raven. So all he's going to do is shift into another 3-eyed. Somebody else will become the 3-eyed raven. Then Beric Dondarrion, Ser Jorah Mormont, and of course Theon. Theon gonna go in a very heroic manner.
Yeah, he will.
But talk about Tyrion, man.
You just broke it down, man. Listen, I was going to name all these bad things that happened to Tyrion, which we already know all the bad things that happened to him. But I don't think any of those bad things that happened to him really have anything to do with your point about who he is, right? Whether those things are the reason he is who he is and how he is kind of irrelevant at this point. But going to your point about saying he's a snitch, right? He's double agent. In this world, right, of the social politics that everyone's been involved in this world, the smartest people in the world of the Game of Thrones is anyone that's old. Anyone that's old are the smartest people. because they've been doing it for a longer period of time than everyone else has been alive, right? And I really, really listened to Fannon, what you just said, going back to that scene about when he told her not to attack King's Landing. And even when he said it, I thought it was stupid. But then they cleared the room, and the character I respect the most, I think the smartest to me, Lady Olenna. Lady Olenna cleared the room, and she said, listen, your advisor, he's very clever. I had very clever advisors. I outlived all of them. Because when it came to big decisions, I didn't listen to them. I listened to myself. You're a dragon, be a dragon. She told her, don't listen to Tyrion. Listen to yourself. And she didn't listen to Olenna. She listened to Tyrion and got half her damn army killed. So, and like you said, Fannon, Tyrion is not that stupid. I mean, at the end of the day, I can see one of his decisions being wrong or miscalculated to try and go attack the first place they attacked, whatever. But to continually tell her to not attack for casualties makes no sense when her opposition's doing that. He's trying to make her fight a fair game when he knows her opposition, his sister, is not fighting a fair game. It makes no sense, and he's not that dumb.
Did you see how he looked when after she burnt up that field of soldiers?
Well, he walked through the field and looked at all of them,
looking like, oh shit, what is this? Oh man. And then how he's begging for what is it? What's the guy's name, man?
Tarly.
It's Tarly.
Tarly, yeah.
Whatever the dad Tarly's name is.
Yep.
How he was like, oh, another great house. He said, not another great house.
Yeah.
Not another great house. That's a snitch.
Yeah, he is.
And she told him, she was like, what does he say? When he busts out Varys and he tried to defend Varys, and he was like, for him to be loyal, quite the opposite.
Yeah.
And he put that other motherfucker away. Yeah. And he said, and he's been a hater because what was that dude who was tapping that in with the Golden Company or the second son?
No. Dario made her leave him. Yeah, he is a hater. Yeah.
He's a hater, dude. That dude
I don't trust Dario though, too.
And in the books, hey, now you can speak to this L5 player. And I got a question that just came up about who do you think who gave the best speech? And I'm not sure. I'm waiting to get
I was waiting for that question.
I'll send that. I'm waiting to get an answer on what you're talking about. Hold on, what's this say? Let's talk about the White Walkers because they're the real problem. I don't think they're the real problem, man. I don't think the White Walkers are the real problem. I don't. But we'll talk about it. But let's do that. Let's do that. All right. So what do you think the White Walkers are about, Shevin?
Well, for me, it goes back to the Children of the Forest. And I know that when the Children of the Forest admitted that they created these White Walkers because they were losing the war against men. To me, the White Walkers want revenge on the Children of the Forest. And to do that, there's something within King's Landing, within Jon Snow, within Bran, that those are the only people that can get them back. They think can get them back to who they used to be before the Children of the Forest made them. So what's up with them? To me, I think they're on a revenge tour. But the revenge tour may be something that's admirable if they're simply trying to become back who they used to be, normal people. I think their intentions might be noble.
What's your take, L5 player?
As far as the White Walkers, I think the books and the shows have made them like characters without dialogue, with the sole purpose of making them be like the embodiment of death. I think they just want, like what we're seeing in the books and in the shows, they just want to, end all life on the planet as we know it. When they talk about them in years past, like or in like the like in past history, like when people mention them coming on the earth, they always mention them with that within that same vein, as far as them being all about trying to kill shit. So I think There, I mean, there might be more backstory to the White Walkers and like their origin, but I think they've left them without dialogue and like all about killing stuff because they're like all about killing stuff ultimately.
All right, here's my
solely.
thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Foul.
Nah, solely I meant. Like they're solely about killing the world.
Right. This is just as you thought about you saying that, man. The thought crossed my mind. T Plums, send me send me that email again, man, because I send me your email.
Bring your ass, T Plums. You were supposed to be on from jump, man. And T Plums knows his stuff too.
All right, so this is what I just thought of, man. Okay, so the White Walkers trying to kill everybody.
What?
You remember when Daenerys Targaryen said, "I don't want to rebuild the wheel. I want to break the wheel."
Yep.
And they got all those symbols about wheels, on there. They got a seal, all like the dead bodies in the beginning. The first show was shaped in a wheel. You got like the tree, that fake ass vision. The Night King's a motherfucker, dude. That's a fake ass vision he gave about that Night King, by the way. And I think I found where it was fake, because in that vision they showed just in the corner. Go back to that episode when the three-eyed raven is walking Bran past that, walking them to go see the where they make the White Walkers. That the face on the tree was the same face as the three-eyed raven. It was his face on the tree, and it was on it, and it had roots wrapped around the tree. I was like, why the fuck is some roots wrapped around the tree? This shit's a long time ago. The roots were wrapped around underground, but this one, the root was wrapped around it above ground, and it had the face of the three-eyed raven. But the three-eyed raven was a guy that didn't come around till a lot later. Remember, because in the book, the three-eyed raven is a guy who used to be in the
Night's Watch.
It's a Stark. He's a Stark too. It's like,
he's a Stark. Oh yeah, I think he is a Stark. Yeah,
he's a Stark. The three-eyed raven's a Stark. I can't remember if it was Brendan Stark, something like that. But it was one of them, and he was a Ranger. That's why he's wearing that black coat, that black cloak, right? He was a man of the Night Watch. But how could he be a man of the Night Watch, right? How could he be there during that vision? Because the Night Watch didn't come till after that, till after they built the wall. Right? The wall came, then the Night Watch came. But yet he's on the face of the tree in the scene. So I was like, nah, there's some super shady shit. But I think that breaking the wheel, I hope that doesn't mean that Daenerys Targaryen is going to become the Night's Queen.
Oh.
And leave with them. Because you saw in that scene they had in the Scepter Baylor, it was a vision of hers. One of the few times they've done visions of hers, and the ceiling was cracked, and it was a bunch of snow, and she walked up to the Iron Throne. There was snow there. Well, she was walking in, and it was snowing as she was walking in. So that could be Jon Snow. That could be the Night's King. It was after the Scepter Baylor had already been blown up. Some crazy shit going on, dog.
So which vision you think he was giving him that was Fugazi, like, as far as like when they made the when they originally made the White Walkers? Or I thought
I thought that was shady.
Oh, I see.
I think that shit was like shady, because you remember what that lady, the old lady Nan, told him, right? When he was in the bed, he said, "Never trust the crow. Crows are always liars."
Yeah,
crows are don't listen to them. All crows are liars. All crows are liars, and that was the three-eyed raven in his room that Nan was saying was a liar.
Liar, yeah.
So it's like, there's some shit that's twist is coming. They have been playing this dude like he's a bad guy for the whole time. My dad is in there tripping. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's, we don't know, man. We don't know. Oh, here's what role will the second red dress lady play? Oh, what's that? The High Priestess.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully.
Priestess. All right, so L5 player, it's on you first this time.
Hopefully she takes off that red robe, man, because she got them ill knockers up top. But I'm not sure, man. Because I think she's Israeli too in real life. But she's like an Israeli singer. Yeah, but I don't know why they haven't brought her back again. Like I it's like this voluptuous woman. Like But I'm not sure because where did she originate? Like I know she was based out of a different land, right? Like maybe
Yeah, they're from.
Volantis or
Yeah, where are they from?
Atlantis, I think.
Yeah, Volantis. Yeah, it is right, Volantis.
yeah.
I think.
But like I know, like they have people that serve Rolor and they're part of the that fire religion.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure if she's gonna have like a meaningful role moving forward. Maybe they'll talk about her or just refer to her later on. But I don't even see her reappearing after this. Like because I you know we're on one more season. Everything's gonna be so compacted. I mean, like it would be cool if like Volantis would try to assist the Daenerys Jon Snow cause somehow, but I just can't see that like going down. What do you guys think?
Oh man, I think she gonna bust out Varys, and I think she gonna bust out Varys,
Yeah.
and Tyrion. That's what I think, because they too much on them. Because if there was a scene, and I saw what you said, Arp. You said George R. Martin made us get so involved in the political BS that we forget about the White Walkers. He essentially made his readers and viewers just like the people in Westeros complacent. Hey man, dude, we can't ARP 13, man. I got a lot of trolls in boxing. I don't need a troll in Game of Thrones, okay? I really don't. Please don't insult me and say complacent. God dog, how many times you gotta watch the show and go through it? Dude, I think that the White Walkers are going to be something completely different than what we think. That's all I'm saying. It's too obvious that they're the ones that are going to come in there and kill everybody. That shit's too ham-handed. It's too easy. Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, he's just this insatiable bad guy that wants everybody dead. Does that seem like something is subtle as something R.R. Martin would hit you with? They got to have a reason to be doing what they're doing. What's their reason? What's their arc, right? How many times in the show have we seen people that were supposed to be horrible people wind up being good people? Jamie's an example of that. He's supposed to be this horrible person. So was Khal Drogo. Khal Drogo was like, oh shit, who's this month? Who's this month? He wound up being a good guy.
Yep.
You know, I just think that the White Walker shit's too predictable, man. I think it's too predictable. I think that they are the opposite of the dragons. It's like you look at the dragons. These motherfuckers are burning the shit out of people, man. They don't care. They're killing little babies, flying around. They'll eat you too.
Yep.
But they're good guys, right? Aren't the dragons good guys?
Yeah.
And the dragons are the opposites of the whites, right? And they're all reincarnated. If you think about it, shit, Jon is a white. Jon's a reincarnated. He just got the ability to think. Derek Dondarrion's a white. And George R. R. Martin called them fire whites. They're not the whites aren't the only people that are reincarnating people. They're reincarnating people. They reincarnated three dragons, two dudes. Now that Sam kid, little baby Sam is gonna be some interesting shit right there.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck they got this little dude running around here for?
Oh, him.
Yeah, the baby, Jilly's baby or whatever. They
Jilly.
got a whole lot of like Jesus references to him, Moses references to him, because they had him running right before the wildlings or the free folk were going to attack the wall.
Mhm.
You can see in one of those scenes where Jilly got a hood on and is holding Sam, and she's going from Molestown, where she was set free in Molestown. You know, when what's her name? The redhead that Jon was getting with.
Oh yeah.
Egret.
Yeah, when Egret let her go, right? Saw the baby, could have killed her. Like, shh. She snuck up back to Castle Black right past him. That looked like some shit straight out of Moses, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of stuff, man. So I see what you're saying. 8 ARP 13. It's too easy. It's just, this is gonna end because the White Walkers kill everybody, and it's all gonna be a bunch of zombies and fade to black. That's just too easy, man.
It's too easy.
Yeah, but also remember though, it's everybody's reaction to this to that eventual fate of like the White Walkers like coming, where it's just hearsay. it's so far from reality. Like or like at one point it's like a fantasy at one point, and now it's actually going down. You know, like this season they're gonna land on in the north and in Winterfell, and like that's you know, there's no like the other houses can't say, oh well, we're just gonna chill up here and it's not gonna come down towards us. Now they all got to react to it. You know, now King's Landing got to react to it. So they're you got to like, you know, and then you got somebody like Cersei who's vindictive, who's always looking to climb ahead. How she's gonna react to it, and then she got this whole big army around her. You know what the Starks are gonna have to do? Like they're gonna, you know, they're the first ones that are gonna be combating with it. So I think like it's not so much that like I said like earlier, like I don't think that there's gonna be this a big twist in relation to the White Walkers. I think it's gonna be a lot of twists because of people's reactions to the White Walkers like being beyond the wall now at this point, you know, or being south of the wall.
For me, I mean, to tag on to what Fannon said or what the guy said in the chat. Look, the White Walkers or the Night King can't be Skeletor. Like he can't just be evil for no reason. It has to be a reason behind it. And what that reason is, I mean, if we're going with the history of the show thus far, people seem to have a history in terms of their current plight, in terms of how they move. And we're going to find, hopefully, I think we're going to find out what their plight is of the Night King.
Yeah, I think they're going to hit that. I think they're going to hit that quick. Cecil Robinson said, Fannon, did anyone like Ramsay Bolton? Like, dude was a true savage. Is there anything you liked about Ramsay Bolton? I'll tell you, that's the first time I ever saw somebody get eaten with a dog, and I was happy.
Yeah.
That's the raggediest bastard. That's the raggediest. I don't know who was raggedy, or him or Joffrey. Joffrey was terrible.
I think Ramsay was a little worse. Like Ramsay's like more raw, but nah. Yes, personally, I didn't think he had any redeeming qualities. Like I hated Ramsay Bolton.
What? Okay, did you guys also hate Stannis?
Nah, I mean, I wasn't like crazy about him, but in the books, it's a little different, and it's the same thing in the show. Like where you kind of like hear murmurings of like who Stannis is, and like, you know, that he's supposed to be the king. Like when they find out that Joffrey might be a bastard, but I sort of like the way like where he's like kind of like unmovable, you know, like where he's super rigid, and I mean he's like bound by duty.
I had an interesting conversation with someone that tried to give me a rationale I thought was interesting about what Stannis did with his daughter, and it's always stuck with me. A few years ago, and the girl, she said, Shevin, everyone goes crazy about what he did to Prince Marine, right? Burning his daughter. And she says, but just stop for 1 second. Just stop for 1 second. Just think about this. She says, say you live in the world, and now because everything is rooted in Stannis believing the fire god, and he believes in that religion, right? So someone comes and tells your leader, hey, these alien things are coming to kill everyone, right? For you to save everyone, you have to sacrifice your child to save everyone, because only you can lead the army to save the world. And that leader sacrificed their child. She said that leader will be deemed a hero and almost godlike for sacrificing their child to save the world from these evil creatures. And if you're Stannis and you believe everything that Melisandre is telling you, then it becomes less barbaric, and he looks at it as though I sacrificed my child to save the world. Now, given he was wrong because Melisandre was wrong, but based on his mindset, I saw the perspective he was coming from. But it's one of those things that if you're wrong about it, you're trash and you're scum, you should be killed. And that's what happened.
Stannis is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is.
You killed your kid, man. You killed your kid, man. A dude saved your life and you cut his fingers off, dog. You can't cut him a little break.
I forgot about that.
You can't cut him a break, dog. Why you gotta? Oh yes, I know you saved my life and I would be dead, but here, take him. I must take at least 3 of your fingers off. I don't like any of these dudes. That's why I rock with the Night King, dog. Quite honestly, I'm King
That's
Night
your favorite
King. Dog.
character?
All these dudes asses. They're all
Yo,
asses.
Not Arya. You gotta rock with Arya, man.
What'd he say?
You have to rock with Arya.
Man, Arya is a fucking psychopath. But
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
rock.
Arya's kind of scared me though.
But
She's
she's
I was
straight psychopath, dog.
I said the show.
They-
Someone asked a question on the stream that said, "Which character would you want the least amount of smoke with, or would you want no beef with?" I said Arya, easy. That's the one person I would not want smoke with over everyone in the entire show, over the mountain, over anyone. I would not want Arya to be my enemy because she can kill me on the battlefield. She can kill me in my sleep. She can kill me in the face of my servant. I want no smoke with her because I don't know how she's going to fight me.
I think I'll take Ramsay on that one for myself because Ramsay's like he's too much, man. He's over the top.
Dog. Like I'm like, okay, it's tough. I
a
was
lot of
thinking
people, though.
Arya because you ain't gonna live, but you can live, but you can die quick. That motherfucker get you. Like you got a chance to get away from him. But if he gets you, it's gonna be real, real ugly, dog. It's gonna be real ugly. You hope you that old lady that just her heart gave out real quick.
I played man until all.
That's one time you wish for heart disease, fucking with him. Like
there was somebody asked a question that you said earlier regarding who you thought gave the best speech in the
the
show.
best speech. Go ahead, yeah. Let me think about it. Who y'all got?
Or book or show. It could be book or show. Go ahead, Chevin, if you have any candidates.
That's easy. That's my girl Mormont. That girl's she's 11, 12 years old, and she was speaking to men who were 50 and 60 years old, who had spent years and years in battle, and she pretty much put them to shame and put them on their knees for their cowardness. You know what I'm saying? She gave these guys the speech that someone should give Tyson Fury.
Yeah. For me, in the book, in the show, my favorite one was like the one that gets me most hyped up, even though it wasn't in English, was the Khal Drogo when he promised to give Daenerys the Iron Throne. Because he's like calling on his ancestors, like, yo, this is raw, bro. But in the book, there's a sample chapter that has Barristan giving a speech before they ride out to fight the people in Marine, like outside of the walls of Marine.
Yep.
That speech is pretty raw too. If you're not familiar with the book, I mean, like they have it on YouTube, like with somebody like narrating it. It's pretty raw. But there's a lot of good speeches in the show, man.
The one that came to mind. One was with Daenerys, but I can't remember it when she fed them motherfuckers to the dragons. Under the Temple of Marine when she fed them dudes to the dragons, fucking with them dudes' heads. But then the one where Sansa fed Ramsay to a dog. That shit was vicious. We will not remember your. You won't remember your words. Your words will be forgot. Your house will be forgot. And Mama's just like, and he's like, my dogs are loyal. They were loyal, but now they're starving. And she stood there and watched his ass get eaten by them dogs. I was like, wow, that's a cold broad, dog. The worst motherfucker though. You know, somebody I was not completely unhappy seeing getting stabbed was her mama. Her mama was a piece of shit and caused most of this drama.
Oh yeah,
Catelyn fucking Stark.
Catelyn Stark.
She was a bitch. How you going to fucking do damn near everything your husband tells you to do? You do the fucking opposite.
Yep.
He said, drive your ass over there. What castle did she send him to? Doesn't do it. Goes over somewhere fucking else. Hijacks Tyrion Lannister based off the word of some dude off of Littlefinger's words.
Yep.
Just terrible. Sets Jaime Lannister free, even though her son said not to.
Yep.
Just a whole bunch of drama she set off, dog.
I mean,
that's one of my least favorite characters because she was just her. I don't know who's dumber, her or Cersei, because Cersei gonna wind up on some real. I mean, what's his name gonna take that shit over, right? This is my belief. This I think Cersei dies. Cersei gonna die because she gonna her army's gone, right? She's the Mad Queen now, right? Doing stupid shit. She thinks she's got an ally in Greyjoy.
Oh,
Euron.
She gave Euron Greyjoy, who she gave a ton of money to go buy an army to come back to the city with.
Yeah.
I'm like, ain't that how the fuck your daddy did? Ain't that how your daddy did the Targaryens? They let you in the gates with a big ass army, and he paid them the money. How do you know he didn't pay them the money? And be like, you work for me.
Yeah.
She's done so much stupid shit from the what's that dude's name? The High Sparrow. Oh. She started that shit with the High Sparrow. She tricked off the whole thing with her husband having babies by her brother. Just a complete another fuck up.
Yeah, she's still alive though, because she's raw though, man. Like one thing I appreciate with Cersei in relation to the story is Cersei's raw, man. Like, and that's kind of like kept her going. You know, where you think she got nobody behind her, like, you know, she like weasels away like to the top because how raw she is, how like grimy. I could appreciate that.
Well,
plus,
when she burns with that wildfire that's all throughout that city, when that dragon lights that shit up, watch her ass burn, dog.
Dude, see, the thing with Cersei is, and I saw Fannon, you brought this up in another Game of Thrones chat you had a few weeks ago. After Cersei defeated the Sparrow, was it Sparrow? Yeah, the Sparrow. The priest. She became what I forgot who said this, but you know who said that all men must have fear. And at this point now, Cersei, to me, because she's defeated the Sparrow, she has no fear anymore. And I think that's what Jaime saw in her when Jaime's explaining to her. When she said, listen, I went about the Golden Company and they have elephants and lions. And he's like, listen, no army will beat those Dothraki. No one will beat them. No one, period. You can buy all you want to. Those men are fighting for money. Dothraki, they fight for fun. They fight for sport. They kill for sport. And obviously that's not her lane. But because of her recent triumph victory over the Sparrow, she feels like she doesn't have to listen to anyone anymore, even in areas where it's not her expertise. And her arrogance and her lack thereof fear of losing or fear of death or fear of man is going to get her killed. And that's why I think Jaime separated himself from her, because he knows a man without fear is insane.
I think when she does die, I think it's going to be Jaime's the one that's going to kill her.
Yeah.
I think that dude going to choke her ass out. The Valonqar, you know, they got the Valonqar in the book, that Valonqar prophecy. I think that shit's going to be, you know, I think that's going to be Euron Greyjoy. He's a prick too. Speaking of great speeches, though, one that I forgot was when the older Tyrell lady.
Oh,
when she died, she went out like a G.
Yeah, that was dope.
She went out like a G.
There's so many dope. Even the King in the North, the first one with Robb Stark, like that. I listen to that in my car, like be getting pumped, man. Like when I first watched the show in general, like because that was before I read any of the books. Like that was the speech that would do it for me, man. That was like
Which one
when Robb Stark becomes the King in the North, where what's his face, John Umber and Theon Greyjoy, like they swear like they're gonna ride for him in the future. Like I could watch that speech over and over too, man. Like
it's some good shit. But, hey, look, man. But hey, we about an hour, man. Let's come back and do this next Friday, man. You got any last words, Shevin?
Valinagores.
Yeah. What is it? Something Maharis. Can't do the other part. What about you? What's going on?
Good looking out for letting me on, man. Like and I besides the Game of Thrones talk, man, like I learned a lot from you, Fannon, like on the daily, man. Like a lot of the things you explain, like I kind of like practice it in real life. And I'm not saying that to kiss your ass, man. Like, you know, you gotta appreciate like dudes that you admire, man. I do admire you as a human being. Like my kids and my wife are sick of hearing you, but you know, they don't too. They don't factor into it though, man. But you got to give us one bell gong and one. You got to scream at Zeus one time.
Sir.
Zeus.
All right, hey y'all, it's been a lot of fun, man. Check us out next Friday. Hey, T Plums, send me an email. This is my email. So the people who want to get on and what T Plums, this is my email. I'm gonna put it in here, and that way for next week when you do it, we can let's see.
Oh yeah, while you're doing that, let me show you I got the chess pieces from not the chess pieces, but the map markers from Game of Thrones. Look,
for real?
Oh wow!
Yeah, I got that's the high top the Frey one. That's the Lannister joint.
Oh, that's what's up.
Let me tell you something.
They're big too.
Let me tell you both you guys something too, man. I'm pretty sure they're probably coming through Austin too. I saw the symphony tour, the musical tour of Game of Thrones.
I heard of that too. How was it?
I saw it year before last. If it comes to your city, man, go see it.
What is it?
It was dope though.
It was really dope.
It's
a Song of Ice and Fire. It's like a musical. It's not a musical, but it's like
it's a play.
No, it's not a play. It's a symphony. It's a symphony of the soundtrack of the entire series, played by a live orchestra.
Wow!
And they on the screen they show the music. They compose the music during some of the best scenes on the show.
Oh,
nice!
Wow, yeah, I'll check. I'm gonna look for that because they got in Austin. They got all kind of stuff coming on.
Oh yeah,
what's going on, Michael Johnson Boxing Talk and more. So, Big Doss, hit me in my email, and T Plums hit my email, and we can chop it up next Friday, man. We'll try to do these through the season, and then if you guys want to, I was thinking, man, we could do it for like the next season for that I don't know how good. Well, actually, that prequel shit should be okay because there's so much actual, canon material to support it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the next season. After this is over, I think they're gonna come with that. The one that's like before. What is it during the dawn? Not the Dawn Age, but the Age of Heroes.
Age of Heroes before all this stuff happened.
That is.
Yeah, that should be dope.
Oh yeah, I'll be here, man.
Yeah. Also, too, for all of y'all, man, like join my man Fannon's Patreon, man. I haven't heard it yet, but I joined yesterday, like I told you.
Too, Fannon.
What'd you say?
I said I need to jump on your Patreon too. I totally forgot.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. My Patreon it's heavy.
Oh, I know.
Well, like the topic that you covered today, even though I haven't heard it, but that's right up my alley, man. I be staying mum about a lot of those things because people get sensitive, man. But who they market those things to and who that's intended for, man. Like I've been on that, man. And you be telling people that look like us and they get a little perturbed, man. But like now things are coming like full circle. But I gotta listen to that one today though. Like
yeah, that's a good one. Hey man, you're Puerto Rican, right?
I am.
All right, so just so you know, the concept still applies to Puerto Ricans.
Of course, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to get into it too deep, but like when they show that like a Spanish guy or when they show that a black dude, it's always some extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when they show that like somebody else, like it's always like the suit and tie adopting kids. So I mean, like I'm not like you always got to look at it like those messages are intended to, like without getting too deep into it.
Right.
And I haven't heard it either.
Yeah, because sometimes like I want to make sure I know, make it a little broader, but it is what it is, man. But look, man, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace to everybody in the chat. And with that, we out. Peace.
Thanks, homie.